Hello, Milwaukee. How are you?
Good, good. How's it going? How are things?
Man, life is good.
Appreciate the time, man. I love this. This
Oh
is
man.
wonderful. So wonderful. I had to pick up a physical copy because I feel like there's little bits and pieces, even if you stream it, that you miss, like the liner notes and things like that. Such, it's a fun album. That's I've listened to it four times all the way through, and it's just fun.
Amazing. Thank you.
Man, thank you so
Um,
much.
I I kind of felt like once we heard Mustang, which we've been playing for a while, uh, I think most people were like, okay, this is a little different than before. That was a kind of a nice self-ribbing kind of song that just jams. But then the album comes out. Ballerina Radio is just it's what I love. It's jangly guitars. It's a nice intro. But can we kind of walk through Rainbow Ball a little bit because it is my favorite track on there.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Matt, you take this one away.
geez. Yeah, I love Rainbow Ball as well. That's crazy. That can't to be honest with you, Caleb went to the bathroom, took a little break during pre-production, and then Jared was just kind of staring off at the distance, and then next thing you know, he was going do playing that bass line, and he was just
Yeah,
repetitive over and over and over. And then Caleb came out of the toilet and was like, "Oh man, that's cool," and we kind of just jammed it right then and there, and it just kind of grew. And yeah, we put a lot of layers on it once we got into actual recording. But yeah, it's also one of my favorites.
That one took the drum intro on that. I could not wrap my head around what they were wanting me to do on the intro because it starts and stops, starts and
yeah.
stops, starts and stops. And I just could not get it. And I was that close to saying, nope, I'm done.
We
I'm not
always
playing the song.
we always
I
do
can't
that. We
get
do
it.
something on the demo, and then you get kind of tied to the demo, And he did this like false start on the demo, and I was like, dude, that's so cool. We gotta get that. And of course, he was just as well probably daydreaming when we started the song and did that like kind of false start, and we were like, you gotta recreate that. But he got it.
It's a little bit of a strange tempo, but it's in my head. And like literally when I bought the album, this is bizarre, but I bought the album, I throw it in. I didn't even have a CD player. I had to like plug a CD player into my car. As I was driving, I got five straight green lights in a row. So like when you keep on moving to that song physically, maybe it did something there. I don't know if it was like one of those things, but then I listened to it again. And then the day after, I even had a gummy with it and then listened to it again. And it was just it's terrific. It didn't change. Usually when I do that once in a while, you hear parts of songs that you don't usually hear.
Yeah.
And it's just a really interesting beat and a great second song for an album. Again, it kind of sets the table for what did you guys have in mind going into it? Did you kind of stack the songs, have them ready, or did you go in with an idea as a band?
I would say this was the most prepared we had ever been going into actual when it's time to record, like to record. In the past, we would kind of, I mean, earlier on, we would waste so much time doing pre production in the actual studio. And we're
Yeah.
like, we're just spending so much money in here just to rehearse. Um, this record, we started in back in last January, getting together, kind of
Oh wow.
jamming and getting ideas together. So we kind of did it a little bit there, then moved to a cottage to take it like to the next level of writing, kind of whittle down 20 ideas down to maybe 14 or 15.
Okay.
And also for the first time on this record, at least for me, Jared made us a little like Spotify playlist so everyone could like download what they've been vibing on the last
Okay.
few days or that. So you kind of had an idea of where everybody else's heads were at, which was amazing because everyone was kind of putting the same bands on there, not knowing that the other person was putting those
Really?
bands on there as well.
Huh.
So, yeah, so this record, it was just,
I
I'd say
think
the least pressure we've ever had on a record, I would say, just
Wow.
because we were so prepared, but also there was no record label. So we didn't have that
Okay.
pressure of them coming in at the very end and, there's your single. That's not a single. That's,
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah, we were very prepared. And in a good headspace and just,
I think this was the
man, we
first
were,
record, this was the first record in a long time where we were all there there for it and like ready to we were all creatively we were just ready to be creative, and we were all, kind of in the same place with just really wanting to put in the work and stay positive and just kind of try to make something that we really loved. You know, it's hard to get in like a super creative headspace, and in the past we weren't all together, but this one it seemed to all align where we all just were super creative together and super collaborative, and it was super fun. Can we please have fun?
What did Kid Harpoon have for contribution to this? A new producer. He's done Florence and the Machine, Harry Styles, James Bay. Really interesting stuff. Did he have a lot of impact on this, or was he more a little after the fact? You guys had the ideas. You came in, like you said, with kind of some creative freedom. Did he just go from there, or was he there from day one?
We were
he
definitely
was,
feeling we were definitely feeling different from the start, so
Okay.
we had this like, this kind of drive, and man, he just came right in there and would just completely gave us everything we needed, just like support and all like, and great ideas as well. And it was definitely very,
he,
very much a
we,
collaboration for sure.
I was very unaware. The band might not have been. I was very unaware of how big of a fan of ours he was, like especially our earlier records. Like I
Yeah.
had no idea. We're in the studio where he's like, "Man, that drum part you did on the bucket, man, that was really awesome. Like, what did you?" And I'm like, "How the hell do you know about the bucket? Like, what would you?" He's like, "Oh man, that was one of my favorite records." Like, well, wow. So that was really eye opening to us that he not only came into it as a producer but also as a fan as well himself. So
Yeah.
there was no ego involved. There was no. He was like, "I'm just here to make what you guys are doing sound as good as it possibly can." And no, that's a pretty intimidating situation to go into, just a producer into a band, anyways, because a band is
Yeah.
usually so close. The fact that it's a family band, that's an even harder kind of barrier to break through. But he, man, day one, just absolute sweetheart of a guy, and just go with the flow. Whatever was moving you that day, he was ready to go. Like, not one of those type of producers that like can kind of get set in their ways of like, I hear us
And don't
doing this today. This is what we're
yeah,
going to do
don't want to
today.
budge.
And
That's
you don't want to move on that. And that's
yeah.
great sometimes if you need the structure of like, guys, okay, we're lollygagging, let's go.
I mean,
But
yeah,
there are,
sometimes we did need the adult to come into the room, sometimes we need that.
Because the
it took us
family affair, right?
nine, it took us 9 records to grow up. So here we all growed up.
One last thing. It's about 3 months until the tour starts. So I'm not saying you have 3 months off, but you're going to be near Chicago, near Milwaukee and Chicago on September 28th, by the way. What are you going to be doing over the next 3 months? Now, it's a nice gap between the album release and touring.
We have a big European tour starting in three
Okay.
and a half weeks.
Oh,
So
okay. All right. So you don't
we'll
have time off.
tour.
Never mind.
No, we'll tour
Zero.
Europe all the way until America, and then we'll tour America, and then back to Europe, and then back to America. So we'll
Excellent.
round and round
One
we go.
one last thing. Can this become a tour shirt? The inside. I love this. I love this artwork.
Great
Whoever
idea.
did
Yes,
that.
We'll get on that.
Oh, dude.
yes.
That's
Idea.
again physical copies, man. That's why I love having something in my hand to actually look at. Because I open that up, I go, "Damn, that's a tour shirt I would buy in a second. I don't care how much it is."
Sick.
Yes, sir.
Make that happen, fellas. Thank you guys so much for the time again. Have a great tour. Love the album. All the best. Safe travels all summer long as well.
Thank you very much, brother. Have a great
Thank you.
summer.
Take care, guys. You too.
Cheers.
Later.